Virtue of Wisdom of Nagarjuna. Mahaprajnaparamitasastra. 8 Yen Lamat. Composed by the Bodhisattva Nagarjuna and translated by the Tripitaka Dharmakarya Kumarajava of the land of Cao Cha. Under the later Tsin. Translated from the French. By Gelongma Karma Migmi Chodron 2001. Chapter 45 Application of Merit. First section Obtaining easily an immense qualification. Sutra. The Bodhisattva Mahasattva who, practicing minor generosity, minor discipline, minor patience, minor exertion, minor meditation, and minor wisdom, wishes to obtain an immense and infinite qualification by means of skillful application of merit, must exert himself in the perfection of wisdom. Sastra. I. The essence of the perfections resides in the mind. Previously, the Prajnaparamita Sutra has spoken of the 6 perfections. Why return to them here? Answer. Above it spoke about their general characteristics. Here it wants to talk about their specific characteristics. Above it spoke about their causes and conditions. Here it will talk about their fruits of retribution. Question. That is not so. Above it spoke about the 6 perfections in their extension and fullness. Here it is talking about minor generosity and so on up to minor wisdom. These minor perfections are similar to but not identical with the 6 perfections treated above. Answer. Nothing of the sort. It is a matter of the same perfections. Why? Because the essence of the 6 perfections resides in the mind and not in the greater or lesser quantity of the things. Whether the bodhisattva practices them to a greater or a lesser extent, they are always the same perfections. Thus the Heinke King talks about 84,000 perfections, and the present sutra also says, there is a mundane perfection of generosity and a supramundane perfection of generosity, and so on up to the perfection of wisdom, it too being mundane or supramundane. Parinamana. 2. The practice of the minor perfections. 1. Lesser practice of generosity. Question. Why does the bodhisattva sometimes practice minor generosity? Answer. There are many reasons for minor generosity. 1. There are some bodhisattvas who have just produced the bodhi mind for the first time and who, not yet having accumulated merit, are poor and can give only a little. 2. There also are some bodhisattvas who have learned that generosity is not measured by the amount of things given but that its virtue resides in the mind. This is why they do not seek to give a lot of things but seek only for good intention. 3. There are some bodhisattvas who have the following thought. If I seek to accumulate a lot of wealth, I will violate the discipline, I will lose my good intention, I will be distracted and I will torment many beings. Tormenting beings in order to pay homage to the Buddha has been condemned by the Buddha, for that is to violate the dharma and seek wealth. If by giving to one worldly person I dispossess another, that is not equanimity. For a bodhisattva, it is the rule to love all beings equally like one's own child. That is why these bodhisattvas give only a little. 4. Furthermore, there are 2 kinds of bodhisattvas. 1. The debased bodhisattva. 2. The accomplished bodhisattva. The debased bodhisattva had at first produced the mind of complete perfect enlightenment. Then, not coming upon favorable conditions and his mind being clouded by the 5 obstacles, he lived a life of mixed conduct and has been reborn into a wealthy noble family or has even become the king of a country or a great yaksa king, etc. As a result of the bad physical, vocal or mental actions that he previously committed, he is not pure and consequently, he is not reborn in the presence of the Buddhas or among gods and men in faultless places. This bodhisattva is called a debased bodhisattva. Although he has lost the bodhi mind, by virtue of his actions in previous existences, this person still likes to give. To this end, he torments many people, he pillages, he robs and unjustly takes over wealth which he uses, nevertheless, to gain merit. The accomplished bodhisattvas do not lose the mind of complete perfect enlightenment. Out of loving kindness and compassion for beings, some remain at home and take on the fivefold discipline. Others go forth from home and take up the tenfold discipline. A. The lay bodhisattva is actually of perfect conduct, but as a result of actions of his previous lives, he is poor. Learning that there are two kinds of generosity in the Buddha Dharma: the gift of the Dharma and the material gift. That the monastic practices especially the gift of the Dharma and that the lay person practices especially the material gift, the bodhisattva says to himself, "As for myself, because of my previous actions, I do not belong to a wealthy family." Then, determining that debased bodhisattvas commit wrongdoing in order to give gifts, this pleases him not at all. He finally learns that the Buddha has not praised copious material gifts but praises only the gift given out of purity of mind. This is why the bodhisattva gives only according to his means. B. As for the monastic bodhisattva, wanting above all to protect discipline, he does not pursue material goods. He thinks only of the virtues of the one single discipline that surpasses all gifts. This is why he gives only according to his means. 5. Furthermore, the bodhisattva has learned from the Jatakas and Nidanas of the Buddhist literature that a small gift gives a large fruit of ripening. Avadana of Bakula. Thus the Arhat Pokyulo, who had given a single alilo fruit, did not fall into the lower realms for 91 kalpas. He enjoyed happiness among gods and men. He was never sick and, in his last lifetimes, he obtained the bodhi of the Arhat. Avadana of Kodavimsa. Thus this Ramana Yulchayi, at the time of the Buddha Vipassana, built a house and gave it to the community of bhiksus. He laid down a sheepskin for the community to walk on. For this reason, for 91 kalpas, his feet did not touch the ground. Among gods and men, he enjoyed immense happiness. In his last lifetime, he was born into the house of a great man, had a splendid body, and, on the soles of his feet, there grew hair 2 inches long, the color of pure beryl and curling toward the right. When he was born, his father gave him 20 kodi ounces of gold. Later, disenchanted with the 5 objects of worldly enjoyment, he went forth from home and obtained bodhi. The Buddha proclaimed him as the foremost of the energetic bhiksus. Avadana of Sumna. Thus in a previous life, the bhiksu Sumanul saw the stupa of the Buddha Vipassana and gave the sumna flower that he was wearing behind his ear to it. As a result of this, for 91 kalpas, he never fell into the bad destinies, he enjoyed happiness among gods and men, and in his last lifetime, he had, on his ear, a sumna flower the perfume of which filled the whole house. This is why he was called Karnasumana. Later, disenchanted with the world, he went forth from home and obtained the bodhi of the Arhats. With the example of these Jatakas and Nidanas, the bodhisattva who gives only a small amount obtains a great reward. Therefore, according to his means, he gives a lot or a little.